So let's talk about the time Reed Richards travels to the future to see the fate of his best friend. In present day at the Baxter Building, we see Reed Richards' father, Nathaniel, preparing his time observation platform, but warning his son that doing things like this can be dangerous, but Reed tells his dad that he just has to know. And as father and son journey through the space-time continuum, Nathaniel apologizes to Reed for not being there for him when he was younger, but he has to admit that this is a hell of a lot cooler than playing catch as they arrive 1,000 years in the future. First thing they noticed is a whole set of Baxter buildings, and Nathaniel congratulates his son and tells him that a millennial legacy is something to be pretty proud of. And thankfully, the future is in good hands as we find out that the Baxter buildings aren't the only legacy that Reed left behind, as we see the future Fantastic Four, led by none other than his son, Franklin Richards, and his best friend, Ben Grimm. Now, Reed isn't shocked by any of this, and his dad wants to know why, but Reed tells him that he had theorized this was possible. You see, the kids in the Future Foundation had recently discovered a way to allow Ben to transform back to his normal human self for 1 week a year. But as it turned out, Reed's theory was correct, that week is the only time Ben ages. Now, Nathaniel tells his son that they should turn around and go home, but Reed demands that they go further. Another 1,000 years in the future, we then see Ben Grimm walking out onto a stage, getting ready to give the commencement speech to the year 4012's graduating class of the Future Foundation. Reed watches on with pride as he sees his best friend doing this and tells himself that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but still, he's not satisfied and he needs to go forward. Another 1,000 years in the future, we see Ben sitting alone on a park bench staring at the statues of his old long-gone friends, reminiscing and talking to himself and thinking that maybe Franklin, who's been gone for a couple of thousand years now, might come back one day. Finally, another 1,000 years in the future, in the year 6012 AD, we see Franklin Richards return home to kiss his Uncle Ben goodbye. And Reed finally has seen enough. They arrive back in present day. Nathaniel tries to talk to his son, but he promises his dad he's fine. As a very determined Mr. Fantastic walks down through the hall of the Baxter Building, straight into the fridge and grabs 2 beers. Then goes to Ben, who is getting ready to watch the big fight, and sits down beside him, handing him one of the drinks. As the two talk, Ben asks Reed if he's really gonna stick around for this. Does he not have something more important going on that he needs to do? Doesn't he need to build something, create some kind of anti-doomsday device or something? But taking a drink, Reed says, "I'm good," as Ben replies, "I've missed you too, Stretch."